Hello, Super Metroid fans. We got a really dynamite matchup for today. This is Stovetop 1321. I'm joined by Dalton, helping Dale on the other side of the comm room. How you doing, Dalton?
I'm good, Stove. I'm super pumped for this race. I have a feeling that we are in for a real treat on this one for sure. So, looking forward to it.
For sure, it's gonna be an absolutely fabulous race. These runners, number 10 and number 12 on the leaderboard for any percent. Emmett being a more of an any percent specialist, and Lynx being a bit more broad on what they in the categories they run. But hopefully, we'll have a solid race and it'll be great.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really close one. I mean, they're both close on the leaderboard in their PB times and really close seating with Lynx at 10 and Emmett at 7. So I think this is going to be a really close matchup for sure.
Well, they're off to the races and going through Ceres. I'm a known not Ceres enjoyer for this for sure, but both these runners probably gonna rock out 45, 46 or so, and then we'll get to the actual fun part of the game.
Yeah, series is probably widely known as the most played part of the game, with a lot of resets happening early on here, just with a couple movement things here and there that can really set the tone for the race. So yeah, looking for some good movement through this section and just getting out with a nice clean move.
One of the components for races, though, is that like if you can't reset this, so if you get owned with Steam in the elevator room or something, you got to keep going.
Yeah, that steam can be nasty. I mean, you're coming through, and it can really slow you down. And the RNG really needs to be in your favor for you to just get through cleanly. And like you said, there's no resets, so you just got to take what you're handed. So right now, both runners looks like they're making good time. Like you said, we're probably going to see some 46, 45, somewhere in that range there. Looks like Emmett with a 45.99 and Lynx with a 44.8 or so. So really, really close so far.
Yeah, got a good D boost, tile boost from Emmett. Lynx got kind of scammed with the Steam pattern, but we're off to planet Zebs or Zebes, however you would like to say it, and we'll see what their bomb times end up being.
Yeah, I'm more of a ZBs kind of guy, but that's just me. I don't know what it is, so I haven't found an official pronunciation for that. I'm sure it's listed somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's a bit like GIF versus GIF. All
That's
right,
big topic of discussion lately.
for sure. We're on the planet. Got some good arm pumps. Pumps coming from both of them. I'm not sure if either of these runners use the newer Zodin pumps anywhere. I know Emmett pushes for a lot of new tech, and Lynx, in my experience, has some just really reliable strats that make sure it goes right every time.
Yeah, and one of the first little tricks here, I think, right out of the gate, hitting the moonfall down, climb, and moving into pit room. Again, this is just one of those sections that requires some really precise movement. It kind of hits you right out of the gate.
Absolutely. This is how I usually look at it is to be the first like 10 minutes of the game, you don't have any movement items to try to speed yourself up. So it's all fundamental movement that you just have to really work on.
Absolutely, just pure precision, right? I mean, this is just something that you're just really trying to nail, everything that you can to get through cleanly.
Yeah, strat for strat so far, we're gonna have a lot of that, I imagine, where Lynx will put something up and him will say, well, I can do that too.
Yeah, a little back and forth. Anything you can do, I can do better kind of situation, right?
Absolutely. Coming out of Blue Burn Star, we got our Awakening missiles. And I agree there, Jace. Not even randomized. What kind of channel are we on here?
Now, so what are we looking for here as they move into this next section of the game? I mean, this early section for bomb times. What are if you're in Lynx's shoes? What's going through your head right now?
I'm probably going to be getting a little bit in a it's hard to not get in your own head for sure, but we haven't seen a lot of mistakes. Kind of something that I like when I'm racing is to make some kind of a, not a massive blunder, but a small blunder in order to cool the nerves. As far as bomb times, both these runners probably looking for a 4x X bomb time and while they move through parlor here.
Yeah, really anything in that 4 range, I feel like is really quality for a race scenario like this. All right, first little mini boss fight here, Stove. What? Talk us through the strat here.
Well, as Hockey Tanner would say, we want to avoid that decapitation animation. Don't want to spend any more time here than we do. We won't than we need to. So we're looking for 4 or 5 shots to keep BT on a multiple of 100, and then 7 missiles without getting scammed. Clean fights for both.
Yeah, very clean. We are, right together for now, and I imagine that that's going to be really most of this thing. So, just a good, clean movement, consistency from both of these players.
You're coming into Terminator, going for some arm pump strats. That's rather than the conventional hold angle down and run. Looks like both are going to get good movement here. Emmett might have a bad drop pattern. Nope, but he got it. Sometimes that waiver can be a little out of the way, and if you miss that missile, it slows down your pre-pirate room quite a bit.
Now, we both primarily run KPDR, and so for me, taking damage through those pirate rooms is not as huge of a deal. What's the strat for these runners here, destroying all those pirates as they go through?
Yeah, that's a really good point, Dalton. So when you're doing Fantune first, whether that's low ice or pure KD, whatever category that might end up being, you cannot afford to take any more damage than you want to take as little damage as possible when you're coming through these early areas. And the reason for that, Fantune is a beast in any mode, but I believe Fantune does 40 damage a hit in this category, because we have no suits. And you'll frequently, even with just regular damage, end up at that fight with just over 100 health. So that means you've got 2 or 3 hits in the tank before you're going to get knocked out.
Yeah, and that's one we're going to be watching closely as we move into that fight. As you said, Fantune is an absolute monster. So starting out the race or out the run with that boss and getting one of the toughest boss fights in the game out of the way, obviously, is a whole different beast for this route.
Still really solid movement coming through here. Very few mistakes. Yeah, Drewski is giving us some good information there, and both Flames and Fantine do 40 damage, and the best you're going to have is 130 health coming in there. So you can get hit 3 times, and then you're toast. Toast on the 4th.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. No thanks.
So speaking of differences between KPDR and pure KD, we're coming through to our new bridge room, and we'll see the major deviation heading up Red Tower rather than down. What were you going to say? Sorry, Dalton?
Oh, I was just talking about getting through Green Hill, taking a couple farms, both runners doing it really cleanly here, and now, like you said, moving up through Red Tower, getting through those rippers and working their way through Hellway.
A little bit of munch for Emmett, unfortunately. Interesting differentiation there. Lynx opting to go for the farm strat with the charge shot down. Only he gets 1 farm. Usually you can sometimes you can get 2 out of that.
Yeah, now Lynx pulling ahead by just a couple of seconds here on Alpha PBs with just some good clean Hellway movement there. Unfortunately, that munch really got Emmett and slowed him down a couple of seconds. But this is still very, very early, so nothing, to sweat too much on Emmett's side, right?
No, not at all. Especially when we're coming up this elevator, going back into Criteria. We got a doozy of a room in Moat. Either we're going to be seeing a continuous wall jump, also called CWJ, which has some two frame or one frame windows, or we'll see a horizontal bomb jump, which I don't know if there's frame windows so much in that as there's just a lot of ways that HBJ can go wrong.
Yeah, hopefully neither runner takes a dip and slows him down. Oh, and Lynx taking a slight step in. Let's see if they recover.
Yeah, setting up for an HBJ, looks like for both runners. Clean crossing, clean, let's
Yeah,
go,
both
double
runners.
HBJ.
Yep, absolutely. Clean cross through moat there, both HBJ and both back neck and neck here as they make their way across the ocean.
Big difference here, though. Emmett, with that little bit less health that we were talking about, he's only got 2 hits in the tank before he's going to go into health bomb. While Lynx has that little bit more health to be able to tank one more hit.
Yeah, obviously can make a big difference as you head into this fight. Again, one of the toughest fights in the game. Talk us through it a little bit, Stove. What makes Fantoon so much different than some of these other fights?
Fantoon is the tough part is the Fantoon's movement and eye-opening patterns are they're not really scripted. You either get a slow mid or a fast for the opening of the eye, and also slow mid fast for eye close. And you just need to be able to manage all of those flames and all of those different factors at the same time. Really nice air Doppler from Emmett there.
Yeah, Emmett absolutely crushing, getting some really solid open pattern there with mid fast. I believe is what it was.
one missile short. So yeah, that's another component to Fantoon there, y'all. If you supers do double damage to Fantoon, but with the downside that if you hit him with a super missile and you don't kill him, he will go into an enrage phase, and an enrage for Lynx as well. Just a frustrating thing, and you have to sit here for so long. I'm not sure what the exact numbers are, but it's got to be like 15 seconds.
It's definitely a major slowdown for you in your run, and unfortunate to see both runners, but again, keeping things even. These runners are very consistent in what they do, and so both of them seeing that enraged pattern definitely is going to make a difference in this race here.
Yeah, for sure. Emmett's going to be in a tough situation here, having hit health bomb that we were talking about, so he only got health from Fantoon. This is a really tough situation. You need a lot of ammunition in PRKD in order to get through to Attic, and it just ruins your resources for so many other things, because this route doesn't stop for it being a bit of a doozy, because we're heading straight through Upper Norfair down to Lower Norfair to fight Ridley after this. Unless we see a route deviation, as far as I'm aware, both these runners focus PR or KD with Fantoon, then Ridley.
Yeah, there's been a few come through there with the PKRD, but I believe we'll probably see the PRKD today. And Lynx coming out with really solid resources is going to be another thing that really sets him up really well for movement through this next section.
For sure. The good point from Drewski in chat there, that the lack of power bombs for Lynx is going to be really tough here. You have some options to be able to farm crabs and the Gabitom, but that takes time. It slows you down through most of the areas, and if you don't blow the tube. It's just stuff that changes what your muscle memory is telling you to do.
Absolutely. Every moment where you've got to stop to farm and you're not used to that because maybe you're used to having a set amount of resources can really change the scope of your how you're playing through these different sections of the game. So I'm interested to see how Lynx comes through with the power bombs, and of course Emmett looking a little bit low on supers and just shy on PBs as well. So will be interesting to see how they approach this next section here to make sure that they've got the resources they need to get through upper lower Norfair and down to Ridley.
Yeah, for sure. The resources are really gonna change how this race progresses for sure. There's gonna have to be a lot more farming on Emmett's side. Did get a lucky PB drop from moving through Attic, but that's such a frustrating thing. And as good as the bug farm is outside of speed, it it can really mess you up and give you some trolly items.
Absolutely. Now, both runners here picking up the gravity suit. Now, how does this change your, your strategies as you come through these different sections, and why is this important, Stove?
Gravity suit in vanilla gives you heat protection and gives you a substantial damage reduction. So being able to pick up gravity, we actually don't need to go get Varia on our way through to before we go to Lower Norfair, which is a huge difference that you can just come back up, grab Kraid, like knock out Kraid on your way out of the on your way to G4 rather, or to Dragon then G4. Just a very um, different way that you can move through the game.
I aim it with a good reverse Hellway there, hitting both those D boosts, and same for Lynx there. Good movement coming back through and down Red Tower as they make their way over and across to Upper Norfair.
For sure. Biggest difference, of course, with this route is just less backtracking. You've got, I'm not sure what the number, but there are just less rooms to move through. Another deviation here from we would say the optimal movement for KBDR. We do pick up Spazer Beam. I am a Spazer enjoyer. How about yourself, Dalton?
Oh, Spazer's one of the first pickups in the game for me, so it definitely makes a difference in making, Fantoon fight a lot easier for me through KPDR. So excited to see these guys taking advantage.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of little small things that come up from uh from Spazer Beam as well. Both players blowing the tube nicely here, nice and smooth. They also both have a power bomb if they choose to use that on their movement out of high jump boots. But what I was going to say about Spazer, it just helps so much. That's when you're moving through Upper Norfair. It makes a lot of your shots not have to be quite as precise, and just feels a lot better, and gets you that little nice farm at the top there.
Yeah, it certainly smooths a lot of things out here. So we are seeing again just really neck and neck. I mean, are we surprised though? I mean, we knew this, right? Both of these runners coming in and very very skilled. I mean, I pulled their average qualifier times, and Lynx posting an average qualifier 43:36 with Emmett with a 43:04. So I'm not surprised at all to see this thing where we are. This is anybody's race at this point, and I'm freaking pumped for this. This is just going to be so fun to watch all of this come together.
100%, 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. I think we might have a little bit of a sneaky thing here that we're not seeing exactly where the racers would be, given the differential that's going to happen in farms.
Yes, obviously that's going to make a big difference, and we've seen that they're picking up some farms as they go, and in some convenient spots that doesn't alter the route too much. And obviously with the runners' experience like this, I mean, you know where you can pick up what you need, and you know what you need in order to get through the different sections. So very interesting to see their different approaches here as they farm up what they need.
For sure. Coming into Ice Escape here, this is what I consider one of the more difficult tricks, just to line it up so quickly. There's a lot of shots to run through. And smooth exit from Lynx, wonderful. And let's see if Emma can copy it. Straight through, I love it.
Yeah, good escapes from both. Emmett taking some time to farm there at the top, get a little bit more resources underneath him. But Lynx pulling ahead just a little bit there. Again, we will continue to see how they decide to make up some of this as they go, to make sure that they've got what they need to head down into, move their way through Upper Norfair and then make their way down to Lower Norfair. These things are going to get tricky.
For sure. We are seeing a little bit of differentiation. Emmett missing the door to Cathedral, for example. Simple. Lynx had a little bit of trouble coming through to Rising Tide. Clean climb. I'm through here in Bubble Mountain, and same for Emmett. Nice to see.
Yeah, both runners really having a good clean bubble mountain. That is, I would say, can be one of the trickier rooms. For as simple as it is, it just requires some precise movement, and if you don't have good manip on the enemies there to get them to have them where you want them, it can really slow you down.
For sure, yeah. Bubble Mountain definitely. It's also so disheartening when you take a fall there. Emmett not getting great drops, unfortunately. I think we got 40% chance or something like that from those pit bugs in order to get it's either 40 or 20. Usually you get an average of like 1 or 2 per farm, and just not getting that.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to see Emmett do at least a couple farms here at the top and try to recover and get some supers as so he can make his way through the rest of the route.
Yeah, that was crummy. Not bad farms through the first two, but that third one was kind of a stinker.
Yeah, slowing him down a bit. Now, if you're Lynx and you're moving through, you've got pretty decent resources here, and you feel like okay, I'm recovering, I'm pacing pretty well. What's going? If you're Lynx, what are you thinking? What's going through the back of your mind, Stove?
I'm just trying to thinking ahead, making sure my resources are lined up, right? Like we don't have a lot of farms once we get through to Lower Norfair, and you need your health as high as you can get it. And both racers picking up wave missiles as well, which is not something they would always do. It's race safe for sure to pick it up, but maybe that 6 seconds could help you out.
Yeah, that's been a fairly common strategy we've seen through a lot of these races, right? Is just making sure you've got the missile count that you need to have a nice, safe, good, clean run, and so seeing both of them take that, seems to be the theme for this bracket.
For sure. We got Lynx coming through, going for for a spark here. This is a much faster way to get through the area, but is really tight. You got to tap. You got, I believe, a stutter 3 tap to be able to get through that. Emmett lining up for it as well, picking up some power bomb farms while he's coming through.
Yeah, one of my favorite moves in the game. I just think it looks so awesome when you can nail this lava spark. And oh, unfortunately, Emmett just missing the charge here, so he's gonna have to adjust to get up out of that.
A little switch to use the gravity jump here in order to get in, but just there are backups, and when you're at this level, your backups are just they come naturally.
Yeah, very, very clean backup there from Emmett. So seeing him hit the lower Norfair elevator, and we've got Lynx headed into worst room in the game. This room speaks for itself. It is truly the worst.
Oh, Lynx so close to getting that left side, right side back up. This is a real dangerous situation. 27 health. Come on, Lynx. You've done this 1,000 times. You got this.
Yeah, really precise movement through here. Coming into that with low health, obviously not ideal for Lynx. So good to see them get up and through that room and be able to move out of that.
It gave Emmett a lot of a pretty big opportunity to be able to catch up there. Lynx still is in danger. Any hit from any enemy in Lower Norfair with this health will kill you, except maybe the Novas or Sovas. Supernova? I can't remember. The blue things.
It's just about anything, right? I mean, this is definitely not the position you want to be in to have this sort of health situation here, and giving a good opportunity for Emmett to kind of pick back up and get some steam there, especially here as Lynx decides to opt for Fire Flea Tank.
Yeah, I think this is a good idea. Like in a race situation, you are asking for problems if you don't. If you're going through most of Lower Norfair with less than 50 health. Clean movement for Emmett coming through.
Sorry, Stove. Didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I was just about to say headed into Wasteland, and yeah, Emmett getting some really good movement there as he goes into Wasteland, and we're starting to see Lynx come down and head into the same room as well.
Yeah, coming through, got some nice sparks on Metal Pirates here. This is your last, like, really last opportunity to get some good farms before you head into the Ridley fight. I'm not familiar, I believe Emmett switched over to some X Factor openers, given that he's got Wave Beam off, only Wave Beam on right now.
Yeah, it
And
looks like
Lynx,
yeah,
Lynx
farming
been-
for
yeah, nice.
PBs.
Yeah, so he's gonna try to get that 6 X Factor opener. This fight, 18,000 health. Your charge beams in this category only do 300 damage as opposed to 900 that you would get in KPDR. So any amount of supers or other resources you can utilize to get more damage off is super valuable. Really wicked. It gets set up from Emmett there. Switch back, get at that Ice Beam and Spazer on so we can hopefully wrap this fight up with no problems. Lynx coming in, got that conventional opener, Tumbler Ice Beam on, so we'll have a little bit of a different fight.
Yeah, a lot of movement from Ridley in this fight. Now, the upside to this is while Ridley has a lot of health, there's a lot of things that you can do to manipulate Ridley's movement. So, what are you looking for? What are some things for the viewers to be watching out for with this fight?
One of the biggest things, your DPS, if you're using a beam, is better when Ridley is swooping rather than being in pogo, just because you can kind of move around more easily. However, when you get to that end part and you just want to pancake Ridley with supers, you're looking to have him in a pogo state so that you can just pound supers into him.
Yeah, now Emmett finishing up that fight and exiting out there, so pulling back ahead a little bit here as Lynx is trying to wrap up the Ridley fight here. And again, both runners really just really moving through super well. We will need to see Lynx is gonna, looks like resources are pretty low, gonna need to farm up a little bit here as they move back through.
Yeah, really nice these fights from both of these players. Emmett coming out has pretty good health, shouldn't have an issue coming out. This Ridley farm room can kind of really check your run for how you're going to be able to move going forward. Moving into Wasteland, get that nice he's clip and T-boost into that speed ball from Emmett. Good job up there.
Yeah, now this lower Norfair escape, can still be a little bit tricky. There's some sections coming up here where, they're not out of the clear yet, right? I mean, this is definitely still a very tricky section to get through. With Emmett coming back up through Fireflea, and Lynx coming back up, and Key Hunter Shaft here. So, what's coming up? What if you're both these guys? I mean, Emmett, obviously getting really both runners getting good clean fights out of Ridley here. You've got two bosses left, right? What are we looking for as they continue to move through this exit?
Well, the big thing, we see Emmett in Three Musketeers. There, you actually have to move very precisely in the Three Musketeers room in order to manipulate how those key hunters move. It is so easy to just eat like 2 tanks worth of damage coming through this room if you don't quite get it. Alternatively, as we're seeing from Lynx, you can opt to just bulldoze through if you don't quite get it.
Yeah, Fireflea tank paying off for Lynx there, being able to take some damage and just clip through some of those musketeers.
Nice little ball boost from Lynx there. I didn't have my eyes were on the wrong side of the screen in for Emmett. It's so hard to call out everything that these runners are doing. They're just such high proficiency, so fast, so quick to pick into their backups.
Yeah, super technical here, and like you said, such proficiency from both here. Now, we're going to make our way up, and we're going to head into Meridia. I have watched a lot of runs that have taken some heat in Meridia. This can be a killer section. What makes this section so... Or I apologize here. I apologize. We're headed to Crate, not Meridia. That's my bad.
Well, I don't know, this section is definitely somewhere where it is technical, but you get a little bit more breathing room that you're not imminently going to die or something. But yeah, hopefully we get some nice quick kills from both of these runners. Got some clean movement into here. They're Imig picking up some decent supers there, and then Lynx hopefully doing the same. I think did Lynx get memed there? With a health draw from Minigrade?
That might be what I saw as well. That's, oh man.
Yeah, so interesting thing shooting into the floor there. That's actually not just because for fun or anything. There is one of the claws that would come up and hit you during the fight in the floor. So shooting into the floor with Wave Beam there lets you despawn that and gets you a little bit less lag, because Kraid is one of the lag kings in this game.
Yeah, that opener can really, you can pick up a lot of lag going through that. But both runners with a great Kraid quick kill and clean fight and getting the D boost to pick up those drops, and headed back out and across and over to, now we're headed over towards Meridia.
Yeah, so let's jump on to Meridia. I often say it's where good runs go to die. There's so many technical things within Meridia, and if you make a mistake, it's usually a very substantial time loss. Whether that's missing a spark, having issues with drag-on patterns, bot wound, X factor not going right, full halfy. There's so many things that can go wrong in this area.
Yeah, a lot of moments that can really slow any runner down at the best of the best, and that's what we're watching here. So we're gonna hope for some really good clean movement for both runners, successful. Let's see some good full halfies and destroy that snake. How many people like that snake in chat? If you like Batwoon, give an F in chat for Batwoon.
Yeah, not a big fan of him. I am curious here. Lynx has some really solid health coming through. I wonder if he's gonna risk not picking up bot wound tank in order to try to make up some time to still stay on a 3 tank setup. But we'll see.
Yeah, and I was a bit surprised. I was halfway expecting Emmett to pick up Kraid tank, but seeing him opt out for that, I really thought maybe he'd take that as a safety. But I think maybe he's feeling like he's got some time to make up.
For sure, and we got a double X factor coming in for Emmett. That's really helpful here because we're not going to have another opportunity other than these drops, and sometimes even skipping your Dragon drops to get more supers coming out of that area and going to G4.
And both runners really just coming out of Batwoon almost identically in time. And this is just, I'm giddy right now with excitement for how this race is.
I love the sync. It's so beautiful. Lynx did opt to not go for that bot wound tank, but still got some really great health. Wicked full halfy coming across. See Emmett come up there. A little bit of an iffy thing on that. Oh, and a halfy.
Oh.
Yeah, he just had a little bit of trouble with that down grab. But sometimes you can get away with slipping it a bit, but you got to have some really clean movement in the rest of the room to set that up.
Now with Lynx at Dragon here, what's the setup for this? How does this fight work?
So what we're looking for here is to start off with a X Factor Spark opener. So that's going to knock Dragon's health down to somewhere around between 2400 and 2850. And then after that, we're going to be doing some additional Shine Sparks and a little bit of ammo in the middle to finish up the fight. Interesting thing, I believe Dragon is the only boss in the game that takes damage from Shine Sparks, but only takes half damage for some reason.
Okay, interesting. Well, we saw a really good setup and pretty good fight there from Lynx. Coming out with blue suit. Now we've got Emmett finishing up the fight, looking to get that spike suit, and I think we're successful, yeah?
Yeah, we got that's a good frame. You can see Samus flash there. Getting spike suit or blue suit in PRKD is a massive difference going through that room. It's probably 10 seconds or so. But just because you don't have space jump to move through there. Lynx did get into health bomb. Your Shine Spark, if you end up getting down to 29 health, the spark will just end.
Yeah, so not quite, just making it across, but having to pick up a couple farms here along the way. Emmett with coming across as well and making his way back through Batoon Room to the rest of the route here.
We do have a differential in our supers though. Looks like we're a bit inverted with Emmett having problems earlier in the run with supers, and now coming out with 9, which is insane for this area. For the short time I ran PRKD, I would be happy if I had 3 supers coming out of this.
Yeah, 9 just feels stacked, right? I mean, Emmett is absolutely loaded with supers here. So super stock is up for Emmett right now for sure.
Yeah, got those stocks coming up for sure. But yeah, we're coming through with our ending here. See a difference between Lynx and Emmett there, where Lynx chose to do a power bomb farm. Emmett was able to skip that just because he has so many resources. Lynx still not out of the woods as far as resources go.
Yeah, you really, as you head into this next section, right? We're moving our way over to G4 and into Turian, and you really need to make sure that you're set up with a good missile count because these are some of the, for as simple as they are, it does not require insane movement, but you need the right amount of ammunition going into this. What are you looking for, Stove?
I do want to thank Ryan and Ford in chat there, pointing out that Emmett did the double X Factor strat at for Bot Moon. It paid off for him to get a whole bunch more, or we'll have way more supers coming through here.
Okay,
Lynx
yeah.
just kind of getting scammed as far as health drops go. Still on 88. I don't think you can do the conventional grouping strat with 88 health. Maybe someone in chat can correct me there.
Yeah, this is a tough situation, I think, for Lynx. So I will be very interested and curious to see how he approaches these Metroid rooms. Emmett hitting G4 as well. Again, coming in with really good resources here as far as ammo count goes. So this is anybody's race still at this point. So we are really set for an exciting finish on this thing.
Absolutely. 8 seconds, eight or so seconds difference between these two runners. We'll see them. We'll also have to do a small moonfall here, and then do an elevator re-equip, where you're able to use the fade out time, and to go down the elevator, turn your ice beam spacer back on. Exactly. Anybody's race. Hopefully these Turians are just pure fire. May the odds be in their favor. Both players entering Turian, just like an elevator ride away from each other.
Yeah, we're just a few seconds apart, and as somebody pointed out, potentially Emmett in the lead really with the kind of resources and ammunition that he has, but we will see what Lynx is able to pick up from these Metroids as they move through.
Beautiful execution. Metroid Room 1, Metroid Room 2 with that D-boost coming through. And Metroid Room 3, resources looking good for both players here. Really happy to see that. You never want to see a race be decided by RNG. Emmett getting a little bit scammed there. Hopefully the supers will come through for him in Metroid Room 4.
Yeah, both runners with really great, clean Metroid rooms and coming in with really excellent resources and near identical resources and near identical health. So this is we're headed into the baby section. What do you think we'll see here?
We're probably going to see the newer Stachio skip from both. I do, again, good call from Eddie. Emmett doing the Rinka boost as opposed to the conventional one. Lynx gets grabbed by the baby.
No.
That's a painful thing to see. That's a big time loss. Emmett going for it. Looks okay. And we're through. Okay. Hopefully that's a big pain for Lynx. That's so frustrating.
Yeah, that's a tough one to watch. Getting hit with that baby, you've got to step into this room here, pick up health, and then move through the rest of the game here and on to Mother Brain. So that's where we see Emmett at now as he moves in with a clean baby skip.
Yeah, for sure. This fight is a lot more dangerous as well. Not only are we in PRKD, so our beam does less damage, we also have to contend with if having only 3 tanks between these two runners. You have to have at least 301 health coming through in order to survive that rainbow beam.
Yeah, this is a scary one, and there's a lot of ways that things can go wrong from here. So this we are not over. This is going to come down to the wire for both of these runners.
Yeah, 351 for Emmett. It's not the worst, but you definitely would like to have that 18 more health that you would have from the regular D boost off the hopper.
Yeah,
This is a very technical fight. 60 shots. You don't have any ammo to try to speed it up like you would in other categories.
Emmett getting hit with double onion rings there with a bomb on the ground. A little scary here. And again, like you said, tight on health. He can afford maybe one hit from an onion, and that's about it.
Yeah, one French fry plus one onion ring coming from chat there. It's just crazy. And yeah, depending on what patterns you get here, it could slow down the fight a ton. And if you're spending your time dodging rather than shooting, it almost feels like one of those old bullet games where you can't, there are no safe spots.
Both of them working through this. Emmett coming with the catch-up now for Mother Brain. Lynx still working through the fight. Taking a hit there from one of the bombs.
The upside there, if you press down when that bomb's going off, if you hit the right area, you can avoid taking damage. So that's why Lynx's health didn't shift there. Emmett through the fight, that's got to be a huge relief to be able to get through that. Same thing for Lynx, just waiting to get slapped with that beam. And both runners onto the cutscene. You can't do stand-ups, so you just get to think about your life's choices and how the run went.
Yeah, I imagine both runners right now. I mean, you could see with Emmett's camera being cropped in there, the sigh of relief he took, and I'm sure Lynx is in the same situation right now. Both just taking a breath for a moment, recomposing, and getting ready for this fight to finish and escape.
For sure, and the thing is, like, as much as you do have that powerful rainbow beam after this sacrifice from the baby, Mother Brain 3 can go kind of crazy if you're not careful and you don't get a good setup right off the hop.
Yeah, I've seen some Mother Brain 3 fights where she's throwing everything at you that you can get, and trying to keep her up in that corner with your rainbow beam can be a little tricky sometimes. So hopefully we get good patterns for both runners, and we're just down to good, clean movement through escape.
For sure, yeah, it's definitely it's still a close one. Emmett coming out of that cutscene, you can tell he's just squaring up. He's ready to rock.
Yeah, getting into that fight now for Emmett. Lynx finishing up the cutscene here, so we'll be seeing the same thing on their side here pretty soon as well.
What a beautiful fight so far for Emmett. Really nicely set up. Got that pattern locked in. A little bit tight, a little bit rough on the start for Lynx there, but looks like he's got the pattern down. This fight is so rewarding when you just get to slap those 4 shots around it. It feels so good. Mother Brain 3 head drop coming in soon for Lynx, and Emmett just ripping into that escape.
Yeah, good, clean Mother Brain 3 fights from both. Emmett working into escape now. Couple parts here that can be a little tricky.
I think Lynx get wins for style points, given that he got the Mother Brain in-room short charge. Just saying.
Just throwing up right there, yeah.
Good movement so far are from Emmett coming through here. Lynx hot on his tail. Just go, go, go. Both of these runners flying through these rooms.
Yep. Lynx coming into Leo Docks. Emmett just leaving Leo Docks. We are down neck and neck. Emmett headed up Parlor here. Good, clean movement coming up through Parlor. Lynx with the spark up.
Emmett coming through.
And Emmett on the ship first with a 4340. Lynx having a little bit of trouble at Parlor there, but right behind. And here we go, approaching the ship. Both runners on the ship.
What a race. Holy, that was absolutely insane. So close the entire time.
Stove, that was absolutely bonkers. My first race on comms, and this is what I got to watch. I mean, I am absolutely giddy with excitement right now. What an insanely close race. How exciting was that, chat?
100%. It feels so good to be able to have close races, and this tournament has been off the chain with really close races, really great movement, and just such a fun time for everyone.
Yeah, and now I think we will get both runners in here in just a moment with some follow-ups here, and yeah, we'll do a quick post-race interview, I believe, right?
Yeah, we'll see if these runners have time to be able to come up, and yeah, I'm gonna echo Twin as well. Don't be too afraid to throw your hat in the ring to do comms, y'all. It's super fun. It's exhilarating. You get to experience these races firsthand. It's super cool.
Absolutely. As you know, being the first time into this, I would encourage everyone to do it. It's so exciting. It's a great way to get involved, even more into the community. So don't be hesitant and don't be shy. Definitely go for it.
Welcome in there, Lynx. Tough race for you. Really sweet decision making, though. Do you have any parts that you were super happy with?
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're coming through fine.
Okay. Yeah, first of all, GG's limit. Nice for him. We both struggled a lot, it seems. So I got into this weird situation. I don't know what's up, Emmett. GG's, man.
Oh, GG's, man.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I got into this weird situation. I don't know if you guys in comms saw it, but I entered Lower Norfolk with 2 power bombs, so I must have gotten a rare health drop from the little orbs before Lava Spark.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, we were wondering when you went over into Firefly there if it was purely for the tank or if you needed those resources too.
Okay, so I just figured I figured that I got 2 power bombs and I started to panic going down the elevator. So that's the start of all the bad stuff. So I was just thinking, oh my gosh, what I don't need to, like, if I choke worst room in the game, I'm fucked. And that's exactly what happened.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I
was wondering what happened because you smoked me in Upper Norfair. Is actually like I was ahead after Fantoon. I know we both enraged. I had a fast, and I had yes. I had a fast, and it was like perfect. I did a 7 missile Doppler on the first fast, and then on the second one, I just did 3. I did my D boost. They're both unscreened too, so it was like nasty. And then I enraged, and then I got a slow punish after the enrage. I was like, okay. Yeah, so my ammo was like really in shambles. I was like trying to farm Sovas and stuff. Like I went in the Bubble Mountain with 0 supers.
Oh no. Okay, that's bad.
And then I farmed a bunch and I just, whatever. It didn't mess with me that bad, but yeah, you were like completely dusting me there. And then when I looked at Ridley, I had a really good Ridley fight, and I looked and I was like, how did I possibly get ahead of Lynx? Like,
yeah.
And I was wondering what happened.
It's because of that struggle. In the past, I was in the same situation where I had to go to Fireflies and pick up an E-Tank and farm power bombs.
So this is before Ridley. I thought you meant after.
Before.
Oh, that's crazy.
No, because I entered Lower Norfolk with 2 power bombs.
Right, you didn't have enough. Oh my god.
So I knew I had to do the bomb spread before going into Wasteland. So
Right.
that's fine. But I started to panic and I messed up, was screaming the game. I got hit twice. I was in health bomb range, so I had to go to the Firefly room. But after that, I played pretty solid. So I picked bowling, but after that I was blind. But
I did
since-
peek a little. I was peeking a little. So I had my phone up, but I was like covering it with my glasses cleaner cloth, so it wouldn't distract me. But every time I had downtime, I would like remove the cloth and see what was going on. Because if I looked at Ridley and I saw I was way ahead, I wanted to grab the E-tank, but it didn't look like that. So, and I wasn't. But I didn't realize I was slightly ahead to like Dragon. Sorry, Varia. And I was like, oh, and then I was like, I just need to lock in. But all those segments, you were just like catching up to me. It was actually really funny. I was just like, you were kind of smoking me on that segment.
I played pretty good. I believe that after the struggle, but then after Maridia, I was in a weird situation again because my resources going into G4 were going to be like completely like trash. So I was thinking, if I pick G4, I don't normally pick G4 because if we're close, I start to get really nervous. So I was thinking, okay, if I have to make a decision here because, like, if I cut up to you, I need to know if I have to play it aggressive and I don't know if you died or somewhere in Maridia, whatever. I can just save the game before entering Metroid 1 and be fine. So I picked before I saw it was like ahead by, it was like just 10, I don't know, 5 to 10 seconds.
It was like
maybe?
you were, I think it was like literally the elevator ride to
like 10
away
seconds or something.
Oh my god!
And I started.
I can't believe
again.
we were that synced up.
Yeah.
The choice between getting extra nervous and knowing if you can save or not. That's a crazy dilemma.
So yeah, I had to go aggressive. I didn't die in Metroid 1, so I felt good. But then everything kicked in at the Metroid skip, and I choked it. And I think if you didn't choke, it's gonna be over. So
I was pretty nervous on the skip. I did manage to get it, but I was definitely like pretty nervous. I was feeling good in there only because I had like 8 supers going in because I went to skip drops. Yeah, I was in extremely good shape. I was gonna skip drops at Drake's. I got the kill in Spike Suit. And I went to do it and I just like missed the wall jump 3 times. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going down and farming, getting the drops, and then after Dre, I would say Dre and Onwards was probably the best I've played. The end games have been like decent for me. My Torian was strong. I was sad you got grabbed by Baby because I had such a good Torian. I was like, this is gonna be close. I know I'm a little bit behind, but yeah, it's a bummer. Man, PRKD is just insane, dude. There's just so many things that can like turn the tables. I'm glad that even though Lynx and I were like literally just struggies out of our mind, I think it probably looked like a good race. We swapped leads a lot, right?
100%. The chat was off the charts. Super hype race. Kept swinging back and forth, and almost had me out of my chair a few times.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, GG's to you both. I was vibrating in my seat with excitement watching this race. It was just so neck and neck the entire time. At one point, you had perfect door sinks. I think it was coming out of Batwoon, and I was like, "What is even happening right now? This is so close. It's crazy." So, GG's to you both. It was a phenomenal race to come and watch. Chat was off the chart, like Stove said, for sure.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us, and GG's Lynx. Next time you'll get me, dude. We'll meet in the grand finals, baby.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming. And you make GG's. Good luck with oats. You're gonna need it then.
Oh shit! Oh my god, that's next.
Just throwing that little thing out there. Like. All right.
Well,
thank
GG's,
you
guys.
For
thanks for watching.
Race. And anybody have final comments before we close down the house here?
No, thanks for having us, and shout outs again to Lynx, and I hope to see him pop off in the losers bracket.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Good luck to
Peace
you.
out, guys.
Sounds good. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for having a good. Thanks for being on comms with me. Thank you to Lynx and Emmett for a great race. SGL for organizing, and yeah, we got a race right around the corner. I think here on the schedule, literally in like 10 minutes on Speed Gaming too. So don't, if you got time, don't go anywhere.
Yeah, thank you, Stove. I appreciate you. Great job on comms, and it was great commentating with you. GG's to the runners again, and thank you all for watching. Stick around for the next races. There's a lot of bracket left to go, and be sure to watch and hype everyone up.
For sure, absolutely. Really, thank you all.
See you next mission.